Greetings and welcome. Thank you for joining me once again for Let's Play Bjarnrik. As always, we're just going to do a quick overview of where we left things off after last session before we get into the gameplay. Looking over our economy, you can see we almost doubled our income from where we started last session. We're up to 160, and a lot of that now is that trade coming in. You can see we're up to 35 in the Serpent's Head, and with all this control over the Dragon Coast, even with that reduced trade power for collecting outside of our home node, we're still collecting almost 21 out of the Dragon Coast. So we're doing pretty dang well there, and we're also making a really good amount from our gold. And you see we only have the two provinces, and that's the two that we force spawned in through our mission tree in Golmark and Glodborg. Militarily, we're up to 122 cap, and we still haven't built any land force limit buildings. We haven't built any manpower buildings, maybe one or two, but we're up to 127k cap with 1500 recovery each month. So we're doing quite phenomenal as far as our military is concerned. As far as our economy is concerned, we are the #1 great power. And Lorent, about midway through last session, did end up breaking the alliance with us because we are the only ones that they can rival. So they went ahead and rivaled against us. So what I'm thinking here is, in order to get around, because if you remember we weren't able to finish fortify the Hellenic Reach, because the first part, all the following must be true, Gawed is a rival. So even though we fulfilled the rest of that, we've outgrown Gawed, and there's no way for us to rival them. So the only way for us to finish this is Gawed does not exist, which is really unfortunate because the Bear and the Eagle, the Northern Empire, the Kingdom of Riveria, leading down, all of these is what gives us all of those permanent claims, permanent claim, and so we're going to be taking a lot more aggressive expansion to push in and take them out, and it's also going to take a lot longer. And so the workaround that I'm thinking is I can actually go in, and if I scroll down here, I can release the nation of Westmoors. They'll receive the province of Edgemoor, which we'll see right here, and you can see all of those core provinces. So if I release them, I can do a reconquest, and I can take out this entire northern chunk right here for a reconquest Casus Belli, and so that would be pretty good there. And then I was also looking over here, and if I get one province of Great March, I'll be able to release them and take out the entire northeastern part of Gawed in a reconquest as well. And there's a couple of nations in the middle, little 3 and 4 province nations that, you know, maybe we'll be able to release. I'm not sure. There is the province of Eagle Crest, and we do have the permanent claims. We do have permanent claims over all of this territory, which is all cores of Eagle Crest. And so what I think, since we're at peace with them, we have the truce is gone, I'm going to go ahead and declare. We'll take one province from here, maybe Lodon Krogs, and then maybe like Guard Fort, and then what we'll do is we'll release Great March, we'll release Westmoors, and we'll release Eagle Crest, because I'll be able to declare a reconquest for all of that territory, and that's going to be, you know, half of Gawed's total size, half their development. So we'll be able to do one big war and rip out a whole bunch of territory for 25% aggressive expansion. So that's going to be the big plan going forward into Gawed. I'm going to move my troops over. We do have a few rebels due to all this overextension. We have a few rebels we're going to need to suppress really quick, which is fine. In the process of moving our troops around, we're going to be squishing those out. Not a problem. Other than that, in the old world, our colony over here is about halfway done, looking pretty good. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that were established last session. So we're going to work on expanding those, make sure we get all of them up to at least 10 provinces, because each one that we do will grant us that additional merchant. And with all these extra merchants, we're going to be able to start seriously pushing the trade all the way up and all the way out into the Serpent's Head. And we're going to start seeing this boom and a lot more income coming in here. We're already doing pretty dang good, up to 31.5 just about. So anyway, that's going to be the plan for this session, I think, is we're going to have a small war against Gawed and their allies. We're going to take a couple territories, and then we're going to release them, and in just a few years later, we're going to go and we're going to have an actual big war where we rip out about half of the country as reconquest. And that's also going to give us a lot more vassals there. You'll see that'll be 3 more, which is nice. We can get rid of this guarantee for Tesk, I think. Yep, they're not going to ally us anymore. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. But anyway, without any further ado, we're going to start squishing out our rebels, and then we're going to go into war against Gawed. Very wonderful stack wipe right there. We were able to catch one of their armies out. We'll go ahead and combine, and we're going to start chasing these guys down. Their quality is quite poor right now. We've got, as you can see, Hilde is quite good, 4-5 general, much better than anything they've got right now. So we're just going to go ahead and chase these armies down and see if we can get some easy pickings. Another very easy stack wipe. We're just going to keep chasing them down. Alrighty, middle of the war here, and I just noticed that we do have enough diplomatic power saved up now. I think we're going to go ahead and promote the Blue Reachman first, since we do have 6% more culture of the Blue Reachman. You can see that here versus the White Reachman. But going through, as soon as we have more promoted culture, we'll probably do the White Reachman next, and then we'll probably be looking at getting some more green work. If you notice here, there's quite a few provinces there down in Escan, and especially down in the forest, but quite a few provinces where we'll be able to incorporate them. Alrighty, it looks like we are going to go ahead and get a new heir, a 525. I don't mind that at all. You can see we did end up losing our last heir, and our last wife, actually, we got an event. I don't think that I showed it in the last video, but we did get an event to divorce her, so that's why we have a new wife. And we are over 40, so it looks like this is kind of like the talented daughter. I think we're going to go ahead and take that, 525. Definitely the best one we've seen yet. Able to keep catching all these small stacks out one at a time. Gonna start having to be very careful here, because you can see they do quite outnumber us. But if we're able to catch a couple of them, like this is an excellent 9,000 here. We'll go ahead and shift consolidate. We should be able to slam into them. You see all of their troops are either moving away or down here too far away to help. Oh, and what's this event? Oh, wonderful. So half-orc slaves run away into the woods. Looks like this is to spawn in yet another new world, or I should say old world nation. So we'll go ahead and choose the first one, because I'm not planning on swapping from Bjarnrik. And look at that. Varbux Freeman. They are Coronite. Very, very cool. Looks like we'll be able to catch them quite easily. Looks like they will be reinforcing. I think we're probably going to have to pull out of this battle, but we'll go ahead and let it run forward a little bit, because at this point we should be able to, you see, 6 days before we retreat, so by the time they get in there, which will be the 15th, just a couple of days, I think we should be able to retreat in good time if this fight starts looking not in our favor. Yep, you see that shift there happen, and before we get even more in there, and we've got that risk of being stack wiped from them having twice as many soldiers as us, we'll just go ahead and we'll pull back. We did a great amount of damage, even though we lost more overall. You gotta remember, we've got over 100,000 manpower to play with, and they do not. So every little bit that we put onto them hurts them far, far more than what hurts us. And meanwhile, our main armies are just down here sieging away their castles. And once we get those, we'll have free reign to start blocking them in, because they won't be able to retreat out. So I'll take a fight like that any day. Okay, we did end up finally getting that castle, and they did move about half of their total forces over along through this Eagle Crest territory while we were sieging it down. So I want to go ahead and move over here, and while we got the rest of our guys right here, we'll pincer them in, box them in, and go ahead and wipe them out. Oh, excellent. And right after that, of course, that other castle fell. I don't think we need them. We'll go ahead and we'll just siege down Riveria. That way we can start piecing them out. Very nice fight. We calm down here. Now we'll just go ahead and chase them back. And we'll leave behind enough troops right here so that way we can start back sieging, getting all of our territory back here. And with this, that's going to be the very last of our quantity ideas. We could save and we could take the next mill tech, but I think we'll just go ahead and we'll finish this out. That'll also give us a 33% land force limit, as well as that lowered 25% lower land attrition. And it'll also grant us the ability to take another policy. I think we'll do the 10% force limit and the plus 10 global settler. And with that, let's take a look here. We're up to 174 force limit. This is absolutely bonkers. And we're not even utilizing this at this point. So let's go ahead and do so, since we can definitely afford it. You can see even with that hit there, because they took control of all of our trade company here, even with that hit, we're still making more than enough that we can start bumping up our numbers here. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll create a new template, and let's take a quick look. What is the force limit, or the combat with 25? And the next time it increases is going to be the next tech level, and it's going to go up by 2. So we need to create a template that is at least 27. So we'll go and we'll do that. We'll just call this quick infantry. There you go. So we'll save that, and we'll go ahead and start building quick infantry. We'll build it over here so that way it's nice and safe, and we don't have to worry about anyone coming over or any rebels randomly squishing some of our guys. So we'll go ahead and start building them there, and we've got more than enough. I think we'll go ahead. That's only maintenance of 5. We'll sit on that for now. That's okay. Probably after this war is over and we start recuperating a little bit more, we'll go ahead and build the next 25, 27. But in the meantime, let's just focus on getting this war done. You can see we're almost done with Riveria's capital. Once they're done, we can piece them out. That's another 8,000 troops getting out of the war. So let's go ahead and focus on that. Able to catch another army right here in the province of Two Fork. You can see the difference here, 4.8 morale. You can see that expansion of zealotry, our traditions, the prestige, it's all coming together. We're the savior of the East. You see by doing the last mission that we did for, let's see here, ending the Great Tide, we've got that 5% morale for 50 years. So we are just absolutely dominating them, even with the -1 for the terrain. But let's go ahead and finish this out, see if we can catch that small stack running away. And this siege is done. We'll go ahead and we'll return one of them, convert a province. As soon as our diplomat gets back, we'll go ahead and peace out Riveria. I'm not interested in keeping them in the war for too long. Let's see, we could start sieging down BPEC as well. They only have 19,000 troops. But let's go ahead and we'll see about trying to catch them here on the fort. This will be really good because this, depending on when we get there, we might catch them with a river crossing. Otherwise, we'll just catch them on a defensive forest terrain there. which will give them that -1. And we're just going to go ahead and assign them to go ahead and siege back all of our terrain right there with autonomous. That way we don't have to micromanage those guys. Oh, looks like we did get them on that fort. We'll go look at that colony in a minute. Let's look at that. That difference in morale is all the difference in the world. You can see even with their extra cavalry there doing a massive amount of damage, great amount of troops. Easily broke them. And again, even though we took a little bit more casualties, these are the kind of fights that we want, because we can just chase them down as they run away. And all of these trades, if they're even remotely close, it's actually in our favor, because we are just recovering so much and we've got such a large pool versus, you can see they're down to only 29 with only 30k in reserve. So we'll just wear them down like that. Very good, easy fights over and over. And pretty soon, before you know it, we'll be able to peace out everyone, and we'll go ahead and take the one territory that we want. Excuse me, 2 territories, because we also want to take Gawed Fort. Looks like they're also getting attacked there. Let's go ahead and we'll just peace them out. Let's see. Probably see about, can we do transfer? Nope, they don't like that. Maybe some more ups. They really don't want to give us anything, so we'll just take whatever we can and we'll just peace them out, just because I don't feel like having to deal with the extra 8,000 soldiers there, and that's fine. We'll let them go do their own thing. They've got their own war that they can focus on. Meanwhile, you see their troops are moving in behind us, so we're going to go ahead and we'll see if we can't catch this army over here. It looks like it's a mercenary stack that he just hired, and if we can catch him and squish him while his morale hasn't recovered all the way, this will make for a very easy stack wipe. Oh, wonderful event. I'm more than willing to pay 400 crowns for an increase of orcs, and we'll also get a little bit of manpower. Well, before we forget, we also have enough for our age ability. Looks like we've got a little bit of glitching going on here, but you know, we're on the BitBucket, so sometimes that happens. All of these are quite nice. I think the one that I'm going to be going with, though, is the Allantir Rush for that colony development boost, because we are still quite heavily colonizing. And we did look at that instant difference. They weren't even fully recovered, but look at that difference. Not quite a stack wipe. We'll see if we can't chase them around. They're going to run all the way back down here, I think. Wouldn't you know it, it is again the great joy of the huntsman. It is giving us the 3 options again, like before. I think he is up to 48. It'll cost us 20 of each. I do think that Askel will stick around for quite a while, and you know, even if nothing else, I won't mind doing it just to see him become the almighty 666 God King, first Emperor of the Bjarnrik Empire. So let's go ahead and we'll do that. Summon the Jarls. We'll go down and let's see how much it'll cost this time. Hosting a great hunt will cost us almost 1,000 crowns, but you know what? Anything is worth it. No price too extreme for the first Emperor. There it is. Oh, we could do it for our daughter. What an interesting, you know. Perhaps it's time for the old man to step aside and make way for his young 2-year-old daughter. I think that's what we'll do. And of course, she's fantastic, a 525. We'll go ahead and we'll improve her Diplo, just because that's the one that's lacking. And there it is. A 535, not too bad of an error if I do say so. Another stack whip. Another very easy fight in our favor. I saw Gawed did retreat some men down this way, but I think we're going to go ahead and chase BPEC all the way back and see if we can't stack wipe them. Oh, they went south as well. No, there they are. That's what I thought. So we'll see if we can catch them here. Not quite. There we go. And then another easy stack wipe. Look at that. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and we'll peace out with BitBucket. We don't actually need anything from them. That's fine. Look at that. We were able to catch their main army again. And it was a stack wipe. Just about 26,000 soldiers instantly removed from the equation. Very low war enthusiasm. Let's see what we can do here. We can go ahead and get rid of them. Easy enough. Okay, after those couple of battles and piecing out their ally there, they're more than happy to go ahead and piece us out for that. Just see if there's anything else. I'm fine with them keeping their alliances. Maybe, we'll just have them revoke some of the cores over the territory that we took. And that's fine enough. I'm happy with that. So I don't want to stick in the war any further. Well, you know what? We're almost done sieging these. We'll go ahead and we'll siege those, and then we'll go ahead and peace out. Okay, that's a couple more territories and a month tick. We'll have them go ahead and revoke a couple more cores. Oh yeah. There it is. 98%. You can see only a couple of guys, and actually everyone that would be, that's mentioned here, already is, so I'm quite happy with that. We'll go ahead and we'll send. Excellent. And instead of coring all of this, let's go ahead and start moving our guys back to our own territory. Instead of coring any of this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start by releasing Westmore's. Right there. Excellent. Then we're going to go ahead and we'll scroll down. Should be at the bottom. The Great March. Wonderful. And then, also at the very bottom, Eagle Crest. There it is. So that should max out our relation. No, we still have one. That's right, because we canceled the guarantee over Vertesk. So we've got a lot of vassals. That's A-OK. And let's just go ahead and take a look at their cores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 cores over Gawed here. 22 cores. So we'll be able to rip out a massive chunk out of that country in the next, after 15 years. And in the meantime, we're just going to play chill. We're going to relax a little bit, keep improving our relations. See, up to 21 more, then we'll probably send them another gift. But anyway, that is an excellent end to the Gawed War there, and it puts us in a very good position. What I am concerned with now, though, is maybe Lorent going in against Gawed. It looks like they're actually focusing on their colonial effort. Quite interesting. Okay. Alright, so we did just summon the diet here. Now, of all of these options, I think what's going to coincide with the next game plan, which is to beef up our military here. You can see we definitely used up quite a bit of manpower in that last war, so we're going to go ahead and let that recuperate. But part of that is going to be starting to finally build some regimental camps, and this is also going to give us a base manpower. So that's going to be killing 2 birds with 1 stone. We'll go ahead and start building a regimental camp. And if we go into our buildings, see if there's anything worth production. There we go, a couple there. But I think we're going to go ahead and start building up our manpower a little bit more. And then we'll also go ahead and we'll just start filling in and building just a few regimental camps. And once those get done building, we should have another sizable increase to our force limit. You can see we're up to 190 already. Oh, and you know something that we didn't do after integrating our vassal? We never did decrease the local autonomy. So let's go ahead and do that now. And that should give us another noticeable immediate buff. Yep, up to 194, quite nice. Okay, so we do have somewhat of a coalition growing, and if I was to, say, declare on, let's just say Blood Gorger here, and see 510, 600, because they are part of the Empire, is Ibavar. Ibavar is, there we go, and you see it's just quite a lot of manpower being able to get called in. So we're going to play it cool, we're going to just relax for a few years. We're going to improve relations with all these people upset with us. You can see +6. We can get another 20. I think we'll go and do that and then send a gift. So that's all we're going to be doing, is just improving relations with everyone around us. And in the meantime, building up our own military, so that way it's even less likely that someone wants to declare against us. Wonderful, we did just get our first person to leave the coalition. Now let's see if we can't work away at the rest of these guys and just slowly improve them and get them to leave one at a time again. One down, only about 8 more to go. Alrighty, we did just get Ibavar to leave the coalition. Quite nice. You can see we were able to bump it up by scornfully insulting. And I think that's just going to be the case for most of these guys, is once we get them up to +20, +25, we'll just go ahead and insult their rivals and just start pulling them away and out of this coalition. Excellent. One after the next, we're getting people to leave the coalition. Boom, boom, boom. Alrighty, and it looks like, as typical, as soon as a couple of them leave, everyone else wants to leave right after. Okay, so I am thinking that we are going to have to start going in against Lorent here sometime very soon. Even if it's just for a immediate rival, but I think we'll do a conquest, so that way we can start forcing them to release some vassals, or perhaps maybe, let's see if there's any good cores. There's one. Let's see, Reverie, of course. If we can find any good cores that we can steal from them to release a vassal to declare reconquest, we will go ahead and do that. But I'll take a look around here, see if we can't find anything that looks pretty spicy. And if we do, we'll go ahead and we'll snag those for ourselves. Otherwise, we can always just force them to release nations, and I think we might just end up having to do so. So we just got the Crimson Deluge. As the prophets of Khorne spread her message across the continent, what can only be described as an apocalyptic scene has transpired in many parts of the Empire. The sky would darken, as if about to rain, only to open and release a torrent of blood onto the unsuspecting citizens. Horrified, crowds of people rushed through the streets, trying to escape from the plasma showers. Many were crushed and trampled as they attempted to escape what could only seem to be the end of the world. Whether someone acknowledges Khorne or Adian as their divine mother or father, all agree that this is irrefutable evidence of a bloody and terrible war in the heavens themselves. It is only a matter of time that rivers are not fed by the blood of gods, but by the blood of men. It's the end of the world. As you can see, we'll lose one stability, and the Crimson Deluge has begun. All nations with more than 5 provinces in the Hellenic frontier, Forlorn Vale, East Dame's Head, Asmaria, and the Borders region, in addition to Escan, except for the Hellenic Reach, will get a triggered modifier and Deluge-specific events. Black news indeed. So it is not actually a disaster, and I'm curious, because I've never had this, if this is a timed event. We'll see what happens. Well, in any case, no way that we can avoid that. We have pushed so far into Escan after we annexed bone carver there that we've got 2 main provinces. So such is life, and let's see what the Crimson Rain has to offer us. Alrighty, looks like the Crimson Deluge has happened. Modifier of plus 50% stab cost and monthly war exhaustion of negative 0.05. See if I can't find it as a modifier. There it is. So no expiration date. It just happens to us, and I guess we'll just have to keep playing forward and see what happens and what becomes of it. Okay, so it does look like Lorent is at war with Gawed now. They're trying to take New Cobble here. And I'm thinking we're almost ready to declare war. We're definitely in a much better position than them overall. But I will have to move my armies over and get them positioned on the border, so that way we can go to war and we can start squishing their armies. You can see they have started pushing all the way in, so they are currently at least into the middle of their country, and they're also on the siege here. We can see 8,000 there. So this should be able to be a very easy stack wipe if we get our guys over there in good time. And the only question is going to be whether or not we're going to get military access to do so, however. And I think one of our vassals might be able to do so. But, you know, that's a risk we'll have to take once we go to cross that bridge. In the meantime, we've got 18 transports there. We'll go ahead and start moving all of our armies over. And once we're on position on this side here with a good portion of them, we'll go ahead and declare, so that way we just have to worry about going, even if we don't get access through Gawed, we should be able to get access through Riveria because of our vassals. Alrighty, what a time to get the military reform event. This is quite wonderful. We could do both, but you know, I'm not quite interested. We can keep lagging behind on Diplotech. We're about to go to war against Lorent, so we will be able to go ahead and take this first one, giving us 200 military power, which will be enough to take the next Miltech, as well as for the next 10 years 20% morale of armies, and the Miltech is going to be a little bit cheaper. Let's go ahead and do that. And see, we can go ahead and take that for only 832 now. We'll do that and give us time to upgrade our troops. This is awesome. As far as pips go, I think we'll go ahead and we'll do, instead of a Great Woods Patrol, we'll do Ismarktvedder, and then we're good there, and we're good there. Alrighty, and look at that. We just got it bumped up, and we got bumped up to above 190. Offer vassalization. Easy enough. And then as soon as we get our diplomat back for a month, we'll go ahead and we'll cancel subsidies, because we're using that subsidies trick. You see, we're giving them 15 a month just so that way we could get that willingness up all the way. And that's going to help, because we could definitely use that 15 more than they definitely can. Okay, we've got all of our troops in position. You see they do have 49,000 right there. So I think we'll have to probably group our troops up. No, I do like that. We'll be able to get easy 2,000 right there. So we'll just have to be very careful here, watching it very, very closely. You see we'll be able to move in and squish a 12,000 stack right there. We do have our full back row of cannons. We'll go ahead and move them up one. And we've got plenty of manpower. We're earning 2,000 a month. And this should put us in a very sizable lead position. We'll just have to keep taking those very favorable fights and drain them of their manpower there. But let's go ahead and get into it. We've got our diplomat back. We'll declare war. Rubyhold will no longer join. That's very good for us. If we take a quick look before we declare, that's an additional 38,000 that we don't have to worry about. That is actually quite excellent. Is there anyone else? Oh my goodness, look at everyone who wants to be our friend. Wowzers. I think after this war we're going to have to start considering who we want to maybe vassalize. I think maybe we'll be able to get some of these smaller nations. Who knows? We'll see. Look at that. Only because they're a free city. Attitude. We just need to improve the attitude a little bit. They'd be willing to join. But we'll not pay any attention to that. We've got other stuff going on. Let's go ahead and declare war. We're going to declare war for, let's say, for Iochand. Rubyhold won't join. Sobalian is an old world nation, so we really don't have to worry about them either. Maybe we'll be able to take some territory from them, actually. Who is Shofa? Shofa's also... They're in a trade league. I don't think that I mind this anymore. I don't think we'll co-belligerate, but if we end up wanting to take a couple territories, we'll just see how the aggressive expansion looks. Okay, so we're going to declare for Iochand, and we're not co-belligerating. Rubyhold won't join. Excellent. And we've got all of our vassals, all of our colonies. You can see this is very nice. And once we get into the war, these little OPMs that we created and released, they should, unless I'm mistaken, they should start creating some small 1 to 2K stacks, and hopefully they start going around carpet sieging. Let's go ahead and get into this war and have our first real battle. Oh, we're not able to move on because we need mill access. Oh no, Gawed, we're trying to help you. Gawed, no. Okay, hopefully they grant it to one of our vassals. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and we'll siege back this territory for them. And we'll start moving everyone down. I do want a leader for all these armies. A 6-1, you know, I'll take that, not bad. We'll just move over, see if we can't start catching a couple of stacks, even if it's just small 2K like that. You know, they've got 92,000. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. Alright, we still don't have mill access. That's very unfortunate. Vertesk might grant us... No, they do because they grant it. Okay, excellent. So we will be able to cross through Vertesk. Wex's army is right there. Wex went quality offensive, and their ideas themselves do give them discipline. So Wex might actually be a bit of a nuisance. Let's go ahead and keep all of our troops together here for this. And it black flags us because we don't have mill access. So let's go ahead and cancel that. Until we get mill access, we just cannot afford to accidentally get black flagged, because that will cost us a fight. That'll probably cost us a stack. Okay, luckily for us, they just pieced out, and look at that massive tendril that they snaked in. We will demand this core return for sure, but now that they have pieced out, we should be able to start sieging down everything here, catching them. I don't think that we'll be able to... Let's move our guys down this way. We'll move our guys down this way. I'm not sure if we'll be able to cross through Gawed. Let's see. Nope. Okay, so we'll go and we'll just go ahead and start shipping over. Goblin refugees will do a small tolerance increase. Let's see, 27th, 29th will arrive on the 30th. Not good, not good. Let's go ahead and reinforce this. Wait a minute. Only 200. We'll go ahead and we'll assault. Excellent, which means that we'll be able to move over. No, the fort control is going to mess that up. But you know what? That's okay. We'll make it in good time. We'll be able to reinforce this fight. Let's look at these stats here. 5.3 versus 4.6. 103 versus 100. And 1.7 versus 1.5. And once we get this full back row of cannons in, this should give us a very significant advantage. Look at that. The moment our cannons hit, they said, no, sir, sorry about that, and they dipped out. Excellent. We'll go ahead and push into these forts. We'll get this guy coming over here and support in the back. We do have a little bit of rebel there. We'll go and squish that. Those guys getting bussed over on the boats. And it looks like they crossed over to here, but let's look at that Wex. Wex's morale is non-existent. What's going on? The cursed icon of Corin and negative 81 prestige, giving them that 8.1% penalty. That is massive. Our vassals are able to just completely demolish them here, even with their 110% discipline. Oh, and this is a bad fight into a marsh. Just like that, absolutely destroyed that army. And will they... No. Say it isn't so. Oh, what happened here? What were we not looking at? A couple of boats caught off the coast. That's okay. They were just a couple of heavies no one was paying any attention to. Holy cow, will you look at that map mode? Coronite is just taking off like a rocket. It did just convert one of our provinces, and that's what made me wonder how they're doing there. You can see 1, 2, 3 Reformation centers. Even our vassals are Coronite. Oh, looks like an army did get caught. We'll try to reinforce. We did in time, but we don't have any cannons, just the one. But that was enough. Excellent. And the siege fell to our main army stack. We'll go ahead and move over, and we'll just start sieging down this fort as well. 74,000 troops on this one siege. They are way overstacked. I think what I want to do here is I'm going to split off a single 1,000 just to maintain the siege and the siege progress. And we are actually going to go ahead and move over there and see about catching them on that fort, because this is going to be... should be quite a good battle. Meanwhile, that will be enough. We'll go ahead and move guys over to help keep that siege progressing. These guys will move. These guys will position right here. Alright, look at that. We are moving in. Double check, make sure that we're going to have enough. Full front row, full back row. This should be very favorable for us, and since they're moving in to reinforce, we're going to go ahead and pull our extra 27,000 out here, and we'll go ahead and reinforce in. See, the battle is going to be on the 7th. If we move in now, we'll get in on the 12th. We're going to go ahead and wait at least a week. We'll go ahead and come in right now. Excellent, great reinforce. You see, even with that 0. Boom. And again, even if we're taking more casualties, I'm fine with that, because we have such a higher manpower pool and we're recovering so much more. Look, they're down to 68,000 with 77, 164 casual with 121 in the bank. Let's go ahead and we'll move our guys back over. We'll continue the siege, and meanwhile this guy will move back over to a reinforcing position. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to slowly start pushing in. You see, we haven't lost any territory at all. We're just going to push in, push in, push in. Okay, so they were able to sneak their army around and to the side. which is fine because you can see we're actually besieging down their capital there. But that does mean that they're on a fort that we currently control. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to turn around, we're going to start moving our armies back up, and we're going to catch them on it, and we're going to have a nice fight right there. And that should allow us to take out the next row of forts as well without them being able to stop us and interfere. Alright, looks like we are going to catch them. All 70,000 of their troops are right there. I guess they have 78,000. Who knows where the rest of them are. But we'll be able to start the battle with this full front row. And we're going to immediately be reinforcing here. Can never have too many men. Excellent. Reinforcing now. And we'll go ahead and reinforce for another week later. You can see this battle is quite assuredly in our favor here, but we'll just keep doing very good timing on the reinforce. Looks like they already broke. There it is. We'll take our main army and we'll go ahead and we'll just start chasing them down. Oh, looks like they were able to sneak all the way around while we weren't paying attention there. Looks like they got mill access through Vertesk. So let's go ahead and we'll reinforce our vassal here and start back at sieging all of Anbennar land really quick. And looks like we will be able to catch them. Easy stack wipe. There it is. Looks like they're not even moving. We'll go ahead and consolidate. Very, very easy fight. At this point, we're just chasing them around their country as we finish mopping them up. Easy stack wipe. And if we take a look, that's pretty much all of their troops. And you see they've got a lot of rebels starting to spawn out. We might be able to take advantage of this. Okay, it is right at the end of the year. Oh, they just recruited all these soldiers. You can see they have no manpower and reserves. I think we're going to have to peace out just so we get that deep. Oh, they no longer want to accept this. What would it take? About 400 if we just want to end it now. 400, and that way we'll drop at least 2 of those nations. West Ham and Celerin will not be able to join the coalition. I think we'll go ahead and we'll just go ahead and do that. I'm not super interested in sticking in any longer. We've completely decimated Lorent. This is a very, very easy war. You saw we just need to keep all of our armies together, and with that full back row of cannons we were able to reinforce and just smash all their armies. I think this is what we'll do. We're going to take these, and if it looks like these rebels are close to enforcing demands, we'll go ahead and release them early, and that's fine. We'll take a little bit of hit to our Diplo power. Let's go ahead and do that now. We're going to release Pairview. We'll do Elk March. We'll also go ahead at the very bottom. We're going to do Sorn Coast and Crovania. And we've got another colonial nation done, Crown Colony, of course. And in just a few more months, it's also going to have a gold mine, giving us that treasure fleet. Alright, we've been trading in furs, but now we are officially trading in naval supplies. As you can see, that gives us a 20% naval force limit modifier, bumping our total ships up to 212 available. Wonderful. After 10 years, the rains have stopped, and clarity seems to have returned to the land. They say that the war between the gods is over, with no clear winner. The mortal world can now return to peace, but some say that the true winner of this war must now be decided by its followers. We can return to normal. The Crimson Deluge has ended. And with both of our wars, as well as the Crimson Deluge over, I think this is a wonderful stopping point for today's session. We've got that excellent name placement as we've expanded our colonial efforts eastward. I would like to think this session was pretty dang productive. We've got our 3 vassals ready to go for that next war against Gawed in about 3 years. And you see we're going to take a massive chunk out of their country. We also have a couple more vassals primed and ready for the next war against Lorent. Just in case these rebels succeed in enforcing their demands, I wanted to make sure that we can go ahead and get those cores, because if the rebels succeed, they're going to demand that these cores get returned. So that'd be very, very good for us. Other than that, thank you as always for joining. I hope that you found everything entertaining and enjoyable. If you have any comments, as always, please leave them down below. And until next time, I'll see you later.